Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Monday! This is Game Day Live, taking a live look in at American Whiskey, 51 Edison Place, the place to be before the Devils are victorious again. I'm your host, Sam Wu, here with Vinnie, Parise at pucksandpitchforks.com. Coming to you live from the Primetime Radio Studios in the confines of the bunker in New Jersey and Chicago, Illinois. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. All right, Vinny. 3 in a row. The Devils have won 3 in a row. How are you, American Whiskey? How are you doing? Are the Devils going to beat the Capitals and win 4 in a row? Give me a hell yeah. Too bad we don't have a microphone there.
Yeah. That's funny.
Oh, yeah. I also want to flash this on the big screen as well. The Washington Capitals as well. They're all laughing. We have a little bit of fun on this podcast on Game Day Live. That's the whole point, Vinny.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. The Washington Capitals. I don't think I've ever, maybe we mentioned it last year. That's actually starting to ring a bell, but it seems like everybody's enjoying themselves at American Whiskey. We got a lot of excited folks over there getting ready to watch the New Jersey Devils take on the Washington Capitals. Listen, I know the Devils are our team. They're my team. They're your team. They're the team we love. There are sometimes, though, when they face an opponent, and I know there's a certain level of greatness on the other side. And listen, I do not want the Washington Capitals to win by any means. I know what's going on with Alexander Ovechkin and him being about 170 goals shy of breaking Wayne Gretzky's record. And I think at the end of the day, first and foremost, we're all hockey fans. And the day Ovechkin breaks Wayne Gretzky's record is going to be a monumental day for the sport of hockey. He's done a lot of damage against the Devils. Hopefully they're able to contain him tonight. But, man, is it fun watching the Devils play the Capitals. And Heischer's got 14 points in 15 games against the Capitals, his most against any team in the league. It's just a matchup that I get up for a little bit extra. I love when the Devils play the Capitals.
I do, too. I'm still pissed off in the shortened pandemic season where the Capitals went 8-0 against the Devils. It was kind of, let's say, the litmus test or, the measuring stick of where the Devils' progress is in their rebuild. And it was apparent back then, but not now, I don't think. Back then, they physically, brutally out-hit the Devils. Jack Hughes off the puck. You can blame COVID all you want, but they were physically outmatched. And when the Devils did have the lead, they would just bully them into submission and beat the Devils, the Washington Capitals. We complain about Tom Wilson. We complain about all these other guys. Ovechkin's just a tough player. But now with 7 defensemen being in the lineup, the Beefalytics, we talk about this on the Let's Go Devils podcast, but the Devils beefed up for this game because they're not going to take any crap from the Capitals, so to speak. What are your thoughts about going 11-7, 11 forwards and 7 defensemen, Vinny?
Yeah, when they go 11 forward, 7 defensemen, I don't think it's something that's sustainable all season long. I just don't. I eventually think Ball and Smith will start to rotate between one another on who's playing every game. And then they start adding a right winger to the fourth line. It depends if they start giving Alexander Holtz time or Jesper Boquist. I think Zetterlund is the other one of the 3 that are on the bench while they dress 7 defensemen instead. It's a very interesting tactic that we've seen fail the Devils in the past, and we've seen it work for other teams. I've seen the Tampa Bay Lightning do it because they were so deep on defensemen during some of their years. Listen, hockey's one of those sports where you, quote-unquote, ride the hot hand. Blackwood's about to start his 4th straight game. We never would have thought that at any point this season Blackwood would start 4 straight games. We thought him and Vitek Vanacek would roll every other game, and it's riding the hot hand. He's been good. He's the NHL's 3rd star of the week. The same applies to doing 11 forwards and 7 defensemen. I think when they lose, they're going to lose, right? It could be tonight, it could be tomorrow, it could be Friday. They're going to lose a game here soon, probably, I would think. And that's when they'll go back to doing 12 forwards and 6 defensemen, I think. But for right now, it's working. You brought up Washington. They're a team with loads of good offensive players. You mentioned Ovechkin. Okay, he's going to be the NHL's all-time goal scorer, I think, when it's all said and done. Evgeny Kuznetsov is a magician with the puck. I think TJ Oshie's a great player. John Carlson moves the puck as well as any offensive defenseman in the NHL. So if there was a game to keep the 11-7 going, I would think it's this one. I just hope it works out for them in the end.
Yeah, I hope it works out for the Devils. I want them to win. I want them to keep this streak going. But let's be realistic here. We've been burned as fans in the past with their decent start. How they went through, how they handled the early season adversity is pretty impressive. Now winning 3 straight, going for their 4th. Palat's the real deal. He showed up when the Devils needed him to show up. Brendan Smith, you've got a dog in the fight. He'll stick up for any of his teammates. And I think it's the Brendan Smith, Kevin Ball factor that's kind of gotten Lindy. He sees the value in it. Unfortunately, Fabian Zetterlund and Alexander Holtz are kind of like the ones that are not benefiting out of it. But I think it's just like what you said, Vinny. It's like it's good for now, but it's not something that it's going to go all season long. Unless, of course, they win 20 straight. And it's an ingenious move.
Yeah, I mean, the Devils haven't won 4 in a row since starting the 2018-19 season 4-0-0.
That's crazy.
And they ended up making the playoffs that year. You all remember Taylor Hall with 39 goals and 93 points. Like, Heischer's rookie season, he was one of the best rookies in the NHL. It's been a while since they've had a run like that. It's not even that big of a deal. There have been last place teams last year and the year before that have had runs like that. The Blackhawks have been one of the worst teams in the league for the last 2 or 3 years, and I guarantee they have a stretch of 4 wins in a row somewhere. They've won 3 in a row right now. So, bad teams win lots of games in a row sometimes, and good teams lose lots of games in a row sometimes, but it just feels different because of the way the Devils have played up to this point in the season. Their wins are impressive, and their losses are like, well, you can build on that. It's not like they got killed in their losses and they barely won their wins. I just look at the way they've played, and Jack Hughes only has 3 points. He's going to have more than 3 points in stretches of 5 games. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
So, all the advanced analytics, I know we're not the most advanced savvy guys on this podcast, but all the advanced analytics say he's the best player on this team by far, even more than a Heischer or a Brad who have a couple more points than him. The puck finds the net sometimes when veterans know what to do in certain situations. But I think when everything starts clicking and you're running 3 scoring lines and then that 4th line with Bastian and McLeod starts clicking a little bit, maybe they get a more consistent line mate, I think that will help the team continue to win games. But, you got to take it one game at a time. This Washington team is loaded with veterans. Every single time Ovechkin's on the ice, he is a danger to score a goal. Obviously, he's got 750 of them or however many it is. So got to bring it hard tonight. You got to play hard. You got to be fast. They've been fast. That's one of the things I've noticed about them. They're one of the fastest teams in the league so far. Their offensive zone shifts they're tenacious. They're hard to defend, and it's just a different looking team than what we're used to. We'll see if it sticks.
Yeah, and it should be interesting because Tony P in the YouTube Live says, I think the Caps are gonna try dirty tactics today. We talked about the Devils' speed. Can they, get around the Capitals and their, physical players? I don't think Tom Wilson is playing today, but how did the Devils match up? What is the strategy that Lindy Ruff and the coaches are going to have? They obviously beefed up with 7 D guys. It should be interesting to see how this Devils team, with the additions of Haula and Brendan Smith, John Marino, how are they going to match up against, the Washington Capitals? I think honestly, if they put their foot on the gas pedal, but also not take anybody's crap, because we've seen them get bullied before by the Capitals. I think that's going to be a remarkable improvement over the last 2 years if the Devils dictate the play. And will the Capitals be a bunch of bullies and try to disrupt how the Devils dictate the play? I think that's the biggest question mark going into this game.
Yeah, to me, when you play the Capitals, you need your best defensive players to defend and your best offensive players to attack. And I saw a graphic from Jay Fresh earlier today. Marino is one of the worst offensive defensemen in the NHL. Like, he just does not care about moving the puck forward. But what he has done incredibly well this season is defend. And he's a defensive defenseman through and through. On this team, he's allowed to do so. As long as he's not slow, I'm okay with him being a purely defensive defenseman. As long as he brings speed to the table, I'm cool with it. And you combine that with the speed of Dougie Hamilton. And, I think Graves has done a great job the last couple games. He had a rough first 2 games. He was brutal in the first 2 games, Graves. But, he's been really good the last couple. And you combine that with a Severson, a Hamilton, a Siegenthaler. I think it's a nice group. And then when it comes to the offense, it's the same thing with Washington. They're not stout defensively by any means. They don't have Holtby in his prime anymore. Heck, they don't even have Vanacek and Samsonov anymore. Kemper is the defending Stanley Cup champion. I'm not sure if he's starting tonight. I can actually look into that right now. But I don't see them as this like stalwart defensive team, Washington. So, let me see Hischier skating, every single, keep your feet moving. Jesper Bratt, he doesn't have a goal, but he leads the team in scoring. It's one of the most insane things I've ever seen. Jack Hughes, he hits the post or has a breakaway every single game. He scored on one of them. I certainly think he's going to be in the 30s by the time the season's all done. Hischier's really trajecting towards having a career high in points. If he can break into the 70s while playing this great two-way game, I think, big things are ahead for him. Sharon Govich is finally on the board. We've seen what that's done for him in his career. So I need the forwards who are interested in offense to produce, the defensemen who do a little bit of both do it, and hopefully Mackenzie Blackwood makes the timely saves. I think that is the key to beating Washington. It's a long-winded answer.
Yeah, and you know what? Brendan Warner says this is a game where you need to protect Jack and Nico. Washington will target them and try to take them out, and not maliciously, but they're going to be physical, right? Shagroom White says, I think Brendan Smith will prevent them from physically imposing themselves on the Devils tonight. Maybe his minutes go back up tonight. Tony P says they need Wood to send a message early with a fight. Again, non-stage fight, but if you need to defend your teammate, I'm all about that. I'm just not in stage fights, anymore. I mean, when I was a kid, that was great, back in the Don Cherry days. That may be before your time, Vinny. But Shagroom White says that they will go in bunches for Jack goal-wise. Just stay healthy. I think that's the key for the Devils right now, especially Mackenzie Blackwood. And he's in the zone right now. His goals against average is around 2, and that also includes opening night in Philadelphia. He's at 2. His save percentage is .904, but the last 3 games, I mean, it's ridiculous, his numbers, like 134 or 133 goals against average with the save percentage of 93%, I believe. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And I just hope he continues this trend and gain confidence, Vinny. I hope he does.
I've said it on this show 1,000 times. He was in consideration for Team Canada for the Olympics. There were 6 goalies that were in this conversation, and Mackenzie Blackwood was one of them. Okay? And one bad year. He was pretty brutal last year. He was also injured. But that's just not him, I don't think. Like, you don't just forget how to play. He was hurt. Yeah. The confidence was shaken. He wasn't good. Yeah. And I came into this year with a fresh point of view, thinking that it's possible that he pulls out of it and is good. So, he needs to keep it up. I'm certainly not, vested in him being the number one goalie. I think he can be, but I need to see more. Last year wasn't great. It's not like I'm giving him any free passes or anything like that either, but
Yeah.
I know there's talent in there. I saw what I saw in 2019 and 2020. I know what I saw in the first half of the shortened season, the COVID year, and we'll see if he's able to regain that. But third star of the week, we'll see.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I'm off topic here, but I'm looking at American whiskey right now. I'm a little jealous. I'm in the studio. I should have went to the game today. I was like, Monday night, blah blah blah. We've got Devils After Dark. I gotta go to work tomorrow, but I'm really jealous. I mean, it's always packed there. It's always packed at American whiskey. And it's the official, excuse me, it's the official bar of the Let's Go Devils podcast. So, and we got other good things happening November 12th at American Whiskey. We're going to do a tweet up. You and I are going to have to discuss that off air about our tweet up because there's a lot of people on Twitter. We're gaining followers at our Twitter account, at Let's Go Devils Pod. And we want to know who you are. Hang out. Have some beer specials. Our bartenders are great. Aaron, Peyton, Mariah, the manager, Casey, Frank. We're getting a lot of private messages about American whiskey to pregame. It is the place to pregame and postgame. You can't have just one. You got to have pregame and then postgame, especially with the Devils' victory. You want to listen to Devils After Dark afterwards, Vinny. Plus, we may be giving out tickets as well on Devils After Dark after the game.
Yeah, we're giving away free tickets from time to time on the post-game show. We've done it before. We're going to do it again. And American Whiskey, if you're there, I hope you're having a good time. But that's the place to be before and after Devils games.
Yeah.
Okay, you see how packed it is right now? We're pumping in the podcast and the pregame show and the postgame show every single game. So make sure you tune in. Make sure you get there, have some drinks. It looks like it's a poppin' fun time. I will be there for the first time ever later in the year, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, especially when there's a New England Patriots fan there. It's still a happening place.
Not cool. No.
It's still a happening place, even though we have a New England Patriots fan in the crowd.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the Patriots. I'm not from New York, so I don't care about the Boston, New York thing. They're playing the Bears tonight, okay? And we root for the Bears on this podcast.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we're bear friendly here on Game Day Live. You heard it here first. Also Hockey on Tap on our sister network is also going as well tonight, and Football Primetime as well. I want to plug that in there. Not that these fans are going to be, watching Football Primetime in their seats, watching the Devils game, but, I just wanted to just put that out there.
But the people at home probably will be.
Yeah.
I will be going multiple screen with the Chicago Bears versus New England Patriots Monday Night Football game, and then, of course, the New Jersey Devils against the Washington Capitals.
Yeah. People are commenting. Giants and Jets are on fire. Dub Bears, Bacha Galoop won. All right. So one of the things that we do here on this podcast is we want to make some money on the games. So the BetStamp app predictions. Who's going to get our bet stamp of approval for this game, Vinny? I got your picks. I entered it in. I still don't understand the gambling part of it, but I'm slowly understanding it through the BetStamp app. Sports books, what that means, the line, the money line, all that stuff. But, Vinny, who are you picking to win today?
Yes. So, to nobody's surprise, I am going to pick, and I went on the BetStamp app, betstamp.app. You can find all of your, the sports books and see which game has the best price on what sports book. Hey, tonight it might be the best to bet on the Devils using the FanDuel Sportsbook. Hey, it might be best to use the DraftKings Sportsbook. Hey, maybe it's the Barstool Sportsbook tonight. Maybe it's Caesars. There are so many different ways to make your bets. BetStamp helps you find the best price for what you are looking for. And today, using the BetStamp app, I found the Devils money line at -134. They are a favorite against the Washington Capitals, which it's been a while since the Devils were a favorite against the Washington Capitals. That's always nice. And I picked them using the FanDuel Sportsbook app via the BetStamp app. Devils money line -134. Again, they are the favorite. Final score 4-2 New Jersey. Ovechkin gets one tonight.
Wow. All right, I'm not going to be a popular guy, so hopefully they don't kill me. But I have the Capitals winning 4-2 points bet. That's my bet. I need to pay some bills. No, I'm just kidding. But, Vinny, it's going to be a tough game. I'm not saying the Devils are going to do bad, but they don't have my bet stamp of approval. Like you know, they have like yours. So, but these are our bets, Vinny, and I have to stick with it. I'm not feeling
Absolutely. And if anybody has a problem with either of our picks, you go download the BetStamp app right now. Send us screenshots of you using it and making a choice based on what you see using the app, and tell us what you think. Put your money where your mouth is. If you don't put your money where your mouth is, we don't want to hear what you think about our predictions.
Yeah. If you don't download the BetStamp app, we'll just laugh at you. I could lose $1,000 to the BetStamp app, but I'll still laugh at you because you didn't put your money where your mouth is. So, but anyway, well, Anthony says 4-3 Capitals. He's kind of agreeing with me. Sorry, but the experience on that team, and that's a legitimate thing to say, But BetStamp app, download the app today, and we're gonna have our own QR code, so fans can just scan it and start making bets at American Whiskey. That would be fun.
That will be fun. Use the BetStamp app to find the best prices and bet on the New Jersey Devils to win today and bet on the Bears to beat the Patriots. Got a big upset coming tonight. Big upset.
Yep. Big upset. Vinny, well, it was very, very nice having you again on Game Day Live. You'll be back tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central Time, because I'm trying to be more inclusive to Vinny, being from Chicago and all. So before the Devils take on the Red Wings, but they've got to finish business here tonight. I want to thank all those watching, listening, downloading. 5-year anniversary of the Let's Go Devils podcast. Over 1 million views and downloads within that 5 years. We can't thank you enough. Also, want to thank American Whiskey for allowing us to be part of their day via the internet. And they're always having a good time there. I want to thank Casey and Mariah, Peyton and Aaron and Frank the Tank, the big honcho over there. They allow us to do this, and it's just so awesome because this is what Devils fans want. They want a place to just hang out, talk Devils hockey. This Let's Go Devils podcast started as 3 Devils fans at a bar talking Devils hockey, and now it's come to this. And Brendan says 3-2 Devils overtime. That's a pretty bold prediction. But you'll find out afterwards on Devils After Dark, after the game, as Scotty, a Sirius XM, Liquid Metal, and I will recap the game that was. And Vinny, it's sad, but we got to go now. Any last words?
I hope everybody enjoys the game. I hope New Jersey has a big win. I'm looking for a big game from a couple of number 1 overall picks that play for Washington and New Jersey. I think it's going to be a big game for those 3 players. Of course, Hughes, Hischier, and Ovechkin.
Yeah. And again, thank you all those that are watching, listening in, dropping the podcast in about 20 minutes. But come back to the Let's Go Devils Podcast Network for Devils After Dark. Recap the game that was, get your rapid reaction. And you can see us at American Whiskey. So come back to American Whiskey afterwards for Devils After Dark. This is Game Day Live. Till next time, let's go Devils.